recognize you, Reverend, with your hat pulled on your head. Okay. All right, at this time, we'd like to bring Edward Fitzgerald to the podium, who's running for governor in the state of Ohio.
Good morning. Good morning. First of all, thank you for the invitation. Thanks for all the great work you do. I think I have about a minute, and I will describe how we're going to fix everything that's wrong in the state of Ohio in the next minute. Let me just tell you briefly what I think is probably the most important question that you can ask any candidate for public office, whether they're running for council or judge or governor, and that is, at the end of the day, who do they work for, and who do they really represent? And if you look at the last 4 years, and really what I think is the biggest problem with the Kasich administration, it's that state government has been put at the service of a very small group of people on issue after issue after issue. So for a very small group of people, they have had things going their way. But for the average family in Ohio, it hasn't been that way. And just a couple issues that I would mention. First of all, this economy in Ohio is not working for most people. 50% of the state is living paycheck to paycheck. We rank 41st out of 50 states in terms of coming back from the recession. And so when Governor Kasich talks about that the economy in Ohio is a miracle, you have to ask yourself, who is it a miracle for? And the answer is that our policies in the last 4 years have been serving really the wealthiest people in the state and the most elite people in the state, and a lot of families are being left behind. And on very fundamental justice questions like civil rights issues, this administration has been on the wrong side. As David Pepper told you, 5 times this legislature, this Secretary of State, and this governor has been opposed to voting rights. 5 times. We need a governor that understands those issues, and that every single day they get up and they represent the average person in Ohio. That's what I'll try to do if I'm lucky enough to be elected governor. Thanks for your consideration. I'll look forward to the questions. Thank you.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes, ma'am.
what would you propose in making to change Ohio's tax structure?
Sure. Well, what you've seen in the last 4 years is if you made $350,000 a year or more, first of all, congratulations. And you got about a $6,000 tax cut. Now, I don't know why you needed that tax cut, but you got about a $6,000 tax cut from the state of Ohio. The poorest people in Ohio frequently got a tax increase because everybody's sales taxes went up. And how many people had their property taxes go up? And they raised the cat tax on businesses. And they took away the homestead exemption for a lot of seniors. Folks, I have never seen anything like this happen before in the state of Ohio. Not only did you have tax cuts for the wealthy, but you paid for them by raising taxes on the poorest families in the state. And they were paid for by cutting money to public education, laying off teachers, cutting tens of millions of dollars to the cities in Ohio, including the city of Cleveland and surrounding suburbs. We ended up having to raise our taxes to make up the difference. Look, everybody likes tax cuts, but don't tell me you're cutting taxes when you're putting money in one pocket, but you're taking a lot more money out of another pocket. And that's what we've had happen. If we're going to have tax relief in this state, then let's have it go to the poor, to the working family, and the middle class people that are really struggling to make it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ohio is facing a huge budget deficit for the fiscal year ending in 2014. What specific revenue increases would you support and what cuts would you make to balance the budget?
Well, the state of Ohio is actually right now is running a surplus. But the question is, where did the surplus come from? If you balance your budget by unbalancing somebody else's budget, that is not fiscally responsible. And what you had happen in the last 4 years, which we have never seen a governor do in anyone's lifetime in this room, is you've had a state budget that has been balanced by unbalancing local budgets. It's really easy to balance your budget if you do that by just taking money away from local schools and local communities and then congratulating yourself and telling them that they're stuck with the results of it. Now, what we did in Cuyahoga County, working together with our county council, is we made government more efficient. We didn't say, well, we have to raise taxes to balance our budget. We didn't say we have to slash services. You think about what we were able to do in this county in the last 4 years. We put more money into early childhood education. We put more money into vocational scholarships. We put more money into college scholarships. We became the first county in the United States of America where every single child that starts kindergarten now has a college savings account that we have set up in trust for them. First county in America to do that. And we were able to do all those things, not by slashing other services, not by raising people's taxes by a whole lot, but by making government more efficient and setting priorities. It goes back to what I said in the first place. What's your priority? Who do you work for? Do you work for the wealthiest people in the state, or do you work for the average people? And your budget needs to reflect that.
Thank you.
Well, listen, you have a lot of candidates, and some of us that are running statewide have to be on the road. I just want to tell you, it's been a real privilege to be the county executive for the last 4 years. I think we've done some great things. We cleaned up county government and we made it work for people. We had huge initiatives in education and community policing and infrastructure and a whole host of things. We also put together the most diverse administration in the county's history. Most diverse in the county's history. Over 50% of our employees are women. Over 50% of our employees of the county are African American. And when it comes to leadership position, we've had more inclusion from the African American community than any administration ever has in leadership position. So when people tell me, how do you explain the success of county government in the last 4 years? It's because we built a coalition that really represented the people of this county. I hope if we're successful this fall, we can do the same thing at the state with your help. It was a privilege to be here. Thank you for the invitation. God bless you. Have a good day.